Curt Hennig, but to you people, I'm Mr. Perfect. And I know a lot of you people sitting there right now wonder what it's like to go through life without making any mistakes. No blemishes, no flaws, from head to toe, absolutely perfect. Yes, being perfect, it has its boring times, like a simple game of billiards. Well, fool to you common people. Like I said,
Hennig fans, and welcome everyone else. I am your host, Mrs. Witchy Perfect. This is another episode of Nobody Beats Curt Hennig, Nobody, where we talk about everything that is wrestling, and then, of course, we also talk about the main event, who is Curt Hennig. He is the greatest wrestler to ever live, so thank you for coming by. I just want to make another announcement about the special birthday bash for Curt. We will be filming that on March 15th at, in the afternoon or sometime. I will be having Kit Cabello, and hopefully I'll be having Dave from Deconstructing Topics. So if you, and that will come out on Curt's birthday. So that will be Saturday, March 28th. Boy, am I busy on that day. So I'm glad I'll already have it recorded. Edited and ready for your viewing pleasure on the 28th. Now, there will be one coming out on the 29th as well. So, whatever episode we're up to when it comes to that, probably like 1:30. See, I'm already on the 15th. This will be seen on March 15th. So, when I'm recording, the show, it'll be after that this comes out. So you guys on Rumble will see this on Sunday, the March 15th, I believe. Let me double check. Yes, on the 15th at 9:00 p.m. That's Eastern Standard Time. 8 for Mountain, 7 for Central, and 6 for the Pacific Time, people. If you are ahead of me, you'll see this probably, whenever it's Sunday, 9:00 for you. Okay. Our main event tonight is a 20-man battle royal with Curt and his father in it. And this is AWA. This was July 15th, 1984, I believe. Yes. So we will be watching that. And but right now, thanks to James Romaro, I think is how you say his last name. I'm sorry if I butchered that. But thank you, James, for doing something on this. I have wanted to talk about this for a long time. This is, of course, about AEW. Can't even give tickets away because why would you want to see that garbage anyway? Again, I'm not here to offend anybody. I'm just talking truth, and we're talking about the wrestling news, of course, that AEW is floundering, and this is kind of their last hurrah before, they hopefully go out of business. I really would like to see that. I don't like the stuff. I'm sorry if you do, but I do not like it. So this is episode 130. Can you believe it? We're like almost halfway through. We're almost halfway through to 200. And I will be having a special bash when we do hit episode 200. Okay. Just like we did at episode 100. All right. So again, the main event is going to be about a 20-man battle royal with Curt in it. It is only like 18 minutes. So anyway, the second story we're going to hear about is about Kevin Nash and that controversy. Okay. Again, I'm not here to be controversial. I will state my opinions as they come. And again, they're just my opinions. Hopefully, if it differs from yours, you are able to still watch my show and we can still talk about Curt Hennig and our love and admiration for him. And Rick Rude, too. And we're going to do some specials on Bret Hart. I was going to show some more Bret Hart stuff with Curt, especially on his birthday bash. But then I wanted to, I'm kind of still thinking, like, everything's up in the air yet. So, but that will be recorded on March 15th, and it will be coming out on March 28th, 2026. Again, and then there'll be an episode that will come out. So if this is 130, let me see. Gotta be thorough with this stuff. Okay, so 15th, So episode 31, 131, 132. So episode 132 will be coming out on the 29th. So there'll be an episode on the 28th and on the 29th for Rumble. Rumble will see the 28th and 29th. YouTube, you guys will only hear, that Thursday, because I'm doing YouTube shows every Thursday. So I had that up. Sorry. So that Thursday is the 2nd of April. So for you guys on YouTube, you guys will hear the birthday bash on the birthday bash on the 28th, and then on Thursday, April 2nd, you will hear episode 132. Okay. So you will not see anything. Again, if you do want to see videos, the links are in my description field for Rumble. If you want to become a Rumble member, even if you just want to watch on Rumble, that is fine. You absolutely can watch on Rumble. You do not have to subscribe, and you do not have to. Well, if you want to comment or like or share, you do have to make an account. But if you just want to watch, that is absolutely fine. You can watch on Rumble for free. You do not have to sign up. As far as I know, like I said, the last time I did this, I wasn't too sure, but I think you can just watch Rumble. You don't have to make an account. Okay. But if you want to do anything, like if you want to make a comment or if you want to like or share or whatever, you do have to make an account, I think. Okay. So, so the birthday bash is coming up. It will be me and Kikabello and hopefully Dave from Deconstructing Topics. Excuse me. I'm going to try to drag Angel into that. So look for that. I'm going to ask him, can you please skip church 1 week? Please. Pretty please. So if I get a chance, maybe Angel Riviera might be on, but I have to guilt trip him, I guess. Church will be there next week. No. So anyway, also, if you want to watch any of my other shows, feel free to do so. The links are in the description field. Again, you can hear this if you can't see. Obviously, if you're on YouTube, you can't see me pointing to my description field at the bottom. Just go with the flow and know that I'm pointing down at the description field. For everyone on Rumble, you guys see everything anyway. So, and anything goes on Rumble. Excuse me, my nose is itchy. It's been an itchy day. So anyway, we're going to get to this. This is about AEW not being able to sell tickets or even give them away. Take it away, James. Thank you so much for doing this and having a show. Again, all rights and privileges go to James because he actually does the research. I'm just a little lazy. But no, I like his commentary and I like his show, and that's why I watch it constantly. And I am a subscriber to him, so here we go. Whoop, turn it up.
Hello, everybody. James here. This is going to be the follow-up video to one I recorded or released a few hours ago regarding WWE's ticket woes. And this is going to be AEW's turn with their ticket woes. So they were in Australia for a tour of 2 dates. If that constitutes a tour, maybe it needs to be 3 or more. I don't know. But anyway, they had 2 tour dates that ended yesterday. In fact, it was on the Valentine's Day and the 15th of February 2026. Grand Slam, of course. And now here's what I'm getting at is how Tony Khan, with a ton of factors within his control, managed to make Grand Slam 2025 such a comparative disaster last year when they were booking out stadiums and then realized that they couldn't even sell out an arena. So they had to do migration and, getting all the people over there. That was a huge to-do at that point anyway. But then they've now decided in 2026, AEW collectively, or whoever's doing their events organizing, to absolutely top that with an all-time howler of bad promotion for these 2 events where Grand Slam 2026 and House Rules the day after in Brisbane once again sold less tickets than the Brisbane Grand Slam last year combined. So anyway, Grand Slam 2026 featured a really stacked card with tons of Australian natives like Harley Cameron and Tony Storm, who's, I think, born in New Zealand but migrated when she was young. And, of course, Kyle Fletcher in the semi-main event. And they also had a ton of other stars, John Moxley, Takeshita, MJF, Brody King in the main event, that kind of thing. But also, just to say this, you would think that Kyle Fletcher would be the first person AEW would advertise on this card. But nope, he was actually the last person they put on the card for whatever reason. And also, he won the TNT. This is just something that's bugged me. He won the TNT title from Ciampa on the Dynamite like 3 days prior. And I'm like, why didn't you just have Fletcher win the belt in his hometown, which would have meant more? And then you could have saved the Mark Briscoe ladder match for the next pay-per-view, which would have had a ton of interest there as well. But anyway, some things, nothing ever happens.
Again, don't bring logic into this because AEW is not about logic. All right. Sorry. Again, I'm not trying to offend anybody. If you like AEW, I do not. So you can skip this part and go to the end on the 20-man battle royal where we talk about, or you can skip to the Kevin Nash part where we talk about Kevin Nash and his woes. Like he took something back, he didn't take something back, or he took a bunch of stuff back and he took that back too. I don't know. But you can skip this part if you want to and just go right to the Kevin Nash part, or you can go to the main event, which is a 20-man battle royal, where they turn Jerry Blackwell babyface. So yeah, that's where we're at. Okay, and more of this
in stories, and then other things. Everything's just rushed for whatever reason. But anyway, these are nitpicks because there are much more major things to mention. Is the real story is how few people they actually got in the building. So Sydney drew 7,000 people. That was for the Grand Slam show, the broadcast show as well, which they were hitting pretty hard the last week, pretty much on AEW television. And fans who bought cheaper seats got upgraded for free because their section was being curtained off. Now, that's happens a lot, but 7,000 on the face of it sounds not too bad, but they only managed to sell an extra 2,000 tickets in the last week because the likes of MJF and co actually went to Australia and started hitting local radio shows and TV to actually advertise this damn thing. So most people I heard from locally 2 weeks earlier, because I did a video 2 weeks earlier on this, locally said that they not heard that there was any events in Brisbane or Sydney whatsoever, or even worse, had said that they'd first heard it through my video, which I guess is sort of the same thing, I suppose. But publicizing the events on AEW television was, of course, lacking. I think we can all agree there. And even if it wasn't, it wouldn't have mattered because AEW programming in Australia, which was watched, I should say, is by as few as 20,000 people per episode of Dynamite. They had the plug pulled on them some month and a half ago. So they don't actually have any broadcasting deal in Australia whatsoever now. But then most people weren't even seeing any local billboards or banners or posters in the area, and neither was there much in the way of social media advertising either up until...
Well, and that's really kind of weird because, again, Nick Khan is a billionaire's son, so they should have all the money in the world to advertise. So why didn't they? So is my question. Riddle me this, Batman. Why didn't, for all you people who don't like AEW like I do, riddle me this, Batman. Why didn't they advertise? I mean, again, it's not like they're strapped for cash here. Nick Khan has unlimited money. Well, I mean, his dad does, but I digress. It's not a surprise it is a surprise to me that they didn't advertise. There were no billboards. Nobody even knew that they were going to Australia. I mean, did they, it's not like they're strapped for cash. So what exactly happened there? Did someone forget to put up the billboards, put up the advertisements and stuff? I mean, that doesn't make any sense to me. So, all right, here we go. More of this.
Pretty much the last minute. Now, in all seriousness, does AEW even have a marketing department? I mean, it beggars belief because you only got 2 events practically every single...
Well, that's what I mean. Like, again, Chad Khan is not hurting for money. So would Tony Khan not hire a marketing place where he can, advertise his business? You are a business. AEW is a business. You're trying to have people come to your shows and you can't even do advertisements? Sorry. To me, they're just like, they're faking it. It's like a whole big fake out, There we go.
A week, like maybe 10 events a month. It's not the biggest deal in the world for a billionaire to, put together a marketing department to actually market these events properly. But it all seems to be like one social media guy who plugging everything practically, like upcoming cards and whatnot, and then usually way too late for anybody to drop their plans to get tickets, or even for TV shows to get interested in watching the TV show, because they don't do enough promotion of what's coming up the next week on their main shows. Now, event promotion isn't hard. Would you believe?
Is that true that they only got one guy who's the advertising guy on like social media and stuff? You cheap bastards. I mean, no offense, I'm not trying to be mean, but you cheap bastards. You got one guy doing a marketing thing on social media, and that's the only place you advertise for? I mean, is it really? I have never seen the cheapest people in the world, and they're all rich people, are like the cheapest people in the freaking world. I'm not making that stuff up, guys. Every time you hear a rich person, they're like, well, I don't want to spend too much money. Like, oh my gosh, right? Okay, more of this.
Especially these days, you can create ads, then you pay money, and you basically let Meta do the advertising for you on Facebook, Instagram, etc. And then you have your television to build anticipation and to advertise cards, and you have your own social media as well that you have tons of...
No. Someone like me, I wish I could advertise, more on YouTube, advertise more on X, advertise more on, all these social media programs. Again, I'm not letting AI, I do everything with this show. This show is my show. The only thing AI has anything to do with this show is literally that I look up like catchy catchphrase or catchy promos, right? Or stuff for the description fields, stuff for the titles. Because I want to be kind of like, hip. Someone sees episode 1, Curt Hennig, right? I'm trying to be hip with, I'm trying to get people to like the titles. And obviously, I'm not doing it for clicks. I'm just doing it for, hey, come watch this. We watch, stuff about Curt Hennig. And I'm not really good with that stuff. I'm better at like song lyrics. I can write songs. I can't write, title for my own shows. But I mean, again, that's as far as I go with the AI platforms. Yeah, you could have AI, I'm sure, do anything nowadays. Even write wrestling programs or do wrestling shows. You can even do AI and have it say wrong things. I mean, I've seen several AI videos where they're like, Curt hated this person, Curt hated that person. Curt hated nobody. Okay, the man never held a grudge against anybody that I know of. Even if they apparently other people are stirring the pot. I saw something with John Nord, and that was taken out of context, and that wasn't even AI. That was just a John Nord. It was titlematch.com. If anyone wants to see that, go to titlematch.com. He does talk about Curt Hennig. Okay, and he takes something out of context that happened with Curt and Curt's dad. And again, there's someone who's a wrestler, and that's not even AI traumatizing a story. So all I'm saying is don't get wrapped up in these, Curt hated that person. He hated nobody. He never talked bad about anybody. And again, just because, he didn't like Jeff and Matt Hardy. I don't like Jeff and Matt Hardy. And I'm a fan. I never liked Jeff and Matt Hardy because they did that high-flying bullshit going through tables, ladders, and chairs. I hated that stuff. I wanted the wrestling I grew up with in the late 80s and early 90s. And that was gone by the Attitude Era. So one guy doing marketing, I can't even imagine. I mean, you cheap people, get off your butts and pay somebody to advertise. This is why AEW's in the toilet, because there is no advertising. It's just all online. Trust me, I would love to have the kind of money Chad Khan has, even though I'm doing much better in my new job. Thank you. But I would love to have the kind of money that Chad Khan has to go advertise my show, not just online. but like all over the world on billboards. Though a lot of people around here are conservative and they don't really watch wrestling. So most of our people around here, just to tell you, I am in Amish country. Okay. So a lot of Amish don't watch wrestling. But for all the regular people who are not Amish or Mennonite, they did watch wrestling, or I'm sure they've heard of wrestling, right? So even if I went out of state, like if I went to Maryland or New York or New Jersey or whatever, there are wrestling people around, but I don't have that kind of money to advertise. Not Chad Khan money, okay? I wish I had that, because then I would put myself out on TV. I would put myself, do you know how much it is just to do a commercial? A couple of $100,000 just for a commercial. And that's what, 30 seconds. Well, actually, commercials are longer now, but they used to be back in the day. They used to be like 30 seconds. Of course, that died along with the 90s, right? So a lot has changed, and like I said, if I could advertise my show more, and that's why I'm asking, I'm pleading, I'm begging, for all my audience, please share this with every wrestling person you know who loved Curt Hennig or watched Curt Hennig or knew who Mr. Perfect was. They didn't really know that much about him. This will educate you. This is why I'm doing this, is so I can educate you on Curt's career, because Curt meant a lot to me. And, he was my pro wrestling hero. He's everything he said he was, and he was a great guy outside of the ring. Yeah, he did ribs, but that was, everybody did ribs. Everybody ribbed everybody. and don't let them tell you they didn't. They did. Probably the raunchiest ribs that you've ever heard of. But what I'm saying is, this is supposed to be educational for everyone, because this is some of the stuff I never got to see. Because, again, when he was in Portland and most of AWA, well, some of AWA, half of it. But the other half, I was like a baby in 86, right? 86 and 87, when he became AWA champion in in 87, I was only a year old. When he went to WWE the first time, the WWF tour, I was 2 in 88. I was 3 in 89 when he had that thing where Hogan kind of said, "Sorry, brother, that doesn't work for me." So I was too young to know, but I am watching stuff that I was negative numbers in 82, 83, 84, 85. I was negative numbers. But we can all educate each other and watch Curt's career on the show. Again, that's why I have it. Okay, so let's watch some more of this.
Wrestlers as well that add up to many millions of eyeballs on Twitter and whatever else. And then Sydney does 7,000 people. Now, still not a horrendous number. If it was local, it'd be a really good number if it was in the States. But Sydney, which has more than double the population than Brisbane does, did 5,000 to 6,000 people less than last year's Grand Slam, despite having an arguably better card. So a case for incompetence can be made right there. But then we get to Brisbane, which is the real story. A house show, which AEW very rarely does, featuring all the same talent practically, and the AEW and some of the people in AEW as well, including some new ones that fared a little worse as well. So I've got to bring this up at this point. The Iconics, Peyton Royce and Billy Kay, right? They're now the inspiration. Aside from the fact that it was obvious that they were heading to AEW after leaving TNA practically during the AMC debut episode, and it was a stinker of a match as well, the Elegance brand. And as Stevie said on the Stevie Richards Show Patreon, it was not the Elegance brand's fault. They turned up to AEW in a debut match. They won a quick squash against a couple of locals, and they declared themselves All Elite on a house show in front of barely any people whatsoever. In fact, I'm actually going to do this a bit ahead of time because I wanted to show you this. When I say in front of barely any people at all, the first tier is looking, and keep in mind, this is the most full bit.
Well, and like I said, this this, and I give AEW a lot of heat, but TNA, oh my gosh, I heard from Jim Cornette, and I do watch his show, and I do implore you to check out Jim Cornette on YouTube. I think it's just Jim Cornette. I think if you look him up on YouTube, you should be able to find him. He said, I mean, even him and Brian Last said it was a big stinker at TNA. So it wasn't very good. Even AEW Dynamite looked like WWE at this point compared to TNA. So no, I do not doubt for a second that TNA stunk.
The tier, I think, as well, is barely a third full. We'll get back to that in a minute. But the real issue is, for them at least, is that why would you debut them on a house show in front of barely any people whatsoever? This is not only a booking thing, as in why are we having a new team debut with no cameras who have at least a tiny bit of name value, but it's also a logistical one. Why would you fly two brand new women over for the tag division when they could have easily debuted on television? And if it was going to have any impact at all, it would have had impact on television. But the real issues here, once again, are the ticket sales. Now, or the lack of them, of course. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I did a video called Tony Khan Majorly Effed Up, where we were 2 weeks pretty much exactly on the date to the event. The get-in price for the event was, including booking fees, around $90 Australian, which is a bit over $60 US. Floor seats were going for $220 US or thereabouts. Now, when I checked 2 weeks out from the event, 3/4 of the floor seats had not sold on the floor, and they even had ringside first row still available. They couldn't have sold more than 1,000 seats total 2 weeks out for this. Well, I checked a week later. I didn't do a video on this, and maybe 40 to 45% of the floor seats, maybe 50, had sold by that point. 1 week away from the event, but there was an embarrassing amount of tickets still available, and that arena, once again, was holding 13,000 people a year ago. They were struggling to sell four figures. They were struggling to get over 1,000 just a year later. Now, well, it got worse. Apparently, AEW promoters were directed to focus on, if there are any marketing departments or promoters, on the Sydney show, and rightly so. That's the broadcast show, and it's going to be the one that goes down in posterity. But the Brisbane tickets weren't selling to that point, that a couple of days earlier, and I'm going to thank someone called Logan who sent me this, but a lot of people did, was that a couple of days ago or a day out, if you went through the Ticket Tech website, through the AEW website, however you got there, you will find that those prices drop down to zero. Best available, any price. B reserve, any price. C reserve, limited availability, so they claimed. Anyway, all $0. That is right. AEW just gave up and decided to just give the tickets away because they didn't bother to do any real promotion for this event. And it's entirely on them. They could have sold 8,000 tickets if they had promoted this thing properly. Maybe they could have sold at least 5,000. I'm confident if they'd given this show the time of day. And I do not understand why they didn't. Keep in mind this, right? It costs AEW something like $5 million per week to run. So they must spend like $200 million a year plus to actually just keep the lights on with AEW. But why would they then book a tour of Australia, fly everybody over, tire everybody out, and then not promote the damn shows well enough that they've then got to give tickets away to Brisbane? And this, once again, is the exact same building in the exact same city that hosted Grand Slam a year earlier. Once again, a lot of the same people on the card, still a really busy, big card as well. And also keep in mind that, you know, of the 13,000 who turned up, I'm sure at least 10,000 of them paid, even if they paid a discounted rate, which they did discount the tickets as well, like WWE are doing WrestleMania now. You know, money exchanged hands for the most part. But I'm just going to leave this back on. 12 months is a long time in wrestling also, and fans also have long memories as well. Keep that in mind, that as bad as the stadium fiasco was, once again, for a number of different reasons, and a lot of people felt burned on that, and they couldn't fill the venue, so they ended up messing people about who bought the floor seats and they ended up in worse seats, and they weren't compensated for those worse seats in a different venue, plus the usual poor advertising which followed the discounted tickets, making the early bird buyers feel screwed over, etc. Despite all that, fans even coined it Grand Scam. That's how upset a lot of people were. AEW still got 12 to 13,000 in the building. Now, so many, so how many attended last night as I record this, which is an interesting question. We don't know is the answer, but there are a couple of photos floating out there that I'm going to leave this. This is actually from ringside seats. Now, we also don't know. There's no match in the ring, and I'm sure there were more people on the floor and whatnot. But it's probably an unfair image to show you, really, but I'm going to leave it on for a minute. But I'd be stunned if it was 2,000. I'd be stunned if it was 2,000 people who actually attended, including the free tickets. Once again, they could not give away tickets at this point, and it's certainly a stretch to send major wrestling stars half the way around the world. And it's almost...
All right, we're going to stop there. I'm going to stop sharing for a second. So he goes on for a few more minutes there, and, you know, just, I mean, again, I don't have Tony Khan's money, but yet I would be advertising every which way to Sunday just so these shows can get bigger, right? Because I do want you guys to enjoy the history of Curt Hennig and to watch along with me. So, and I hope you enjoy the show. Please share it with all your friends so that, you know, we can get the word out there. All right. So the next thing we're going to watch, because again, we do have a main event to get to eventually. We're going to talk about Kevin Nash and his bizarre issues with whatever he was dealing with. Sorry. Okay. I had some sparkles there. I'm very sparkly today. All right, so I'm going to share the screen, and we're going to talk about Kevin Nash. There. Okay. So, yeah, his bizarre issues with Javon Evans. No offense to any WWE people, but I'm not into Javon Evans, okay? I don't know why he was in the Royal Rumble. I don't know why he was, talking to Drew McIntyre. I don't consider him a main event. I think he's one of them high flyers that I just don't like to watch because I don't like to watch gymnastics. I'd rather watch wrestling. So anyway, we're going to talk about what he said about Javon Evans, and then deletes, and then apologized, and then deleted. So I don't know. Let's go.
James here. Now, a few days ago on Kevin Nash's podcast, he was talking about how he'd like to see Javon Evans do or change something. I guess I'm not quite sure. So let's just get to the quote here immediately, which I will now read because we don't have 20 minutes to listen to Kevin Nash say it. So, he's an incredible athlete. He's a little bit too Mr. Bojangles for me. I wish he was a little bit more urban. I understand.
Now, I don't know what that really... Bojangles. The thing with, he's just one of those guys that likes to do gymnastics in the ring, and I don't like that. I'm not a big. I like Obi Femi. Obi Femi. Obi Femi. Sorry, Obi. Obi Femi. Because he's built like a wrestler. He looks like a wrestler. Javon Evans. Sorry, you look like Matt and Jeff Hardy, and I didn't like those people. So. Here we go.
Netflix, and I understand there's a big world out there besides the one that 66-year-old Detroit boy Kevin Nash wants, but I just want him to have a little bit of an edge. He can strike, he throws a good punch, take your time and throw a good punch, maybe put 2 or 3 together. Something where you tell me if this stuff wasn't real, or was real, all this athleticism I have I can use, not if this was real, I would cartwheel off your body like you would never see. He sells good, I mean he does everything good. Well, so I believe what Kevin Nash is getting at here is that he likes Javon Evans as a performer, but he needs more of a hard edge to him. And at the moment, he's pretty kid-friendly, bounding down to the ring. But it's Nash's wording that has landed him with some criticism here. First off, the Mr. Bojangles reference. Now, this is me splitting hairs, and I don't expect anyone particularly to understand or have known the distinction beforehand. But Mr. Bojangles was white. Mr. Bojangles, the person who the song was written for in 1968, I think it was in actuality Jerry Jeff Walker, who used Mr. Bojangles as an alias. So Bill Bojangles Robinson, also not Billy Robinson the wrestler, but Bill Bojangles Robinson was the tap dancer from the turn of the previous century, where Mr. Bojangles assumed his alias from, and Bill Robinson was black, of course. Now, I'm splitting hairs once again here, and no one's going to be making that distinction, practically nobody, including Kevin Nash. But I just wanted to say that. But anyway, that coupled with the Mr. Bojangles dancing reference, it's Nash's claim that he wanted Javon Evans to be more urban, essentially, I guess, a little bit more gangster. That took the jam out.
I would say, sorry to stop it again, but I would say the thing is, I want Javon Evans to be more like Obafemi. Be more like a bad man. Okay, like a beast. Obafemi is literally a beast, and he looks like a wrestler. He's got those big muscles. I'm not saying he has to, get on the juice or whatever. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, go to the gym, eat right, bulk up a little bit, and put some meat on them bones. And I think, and stop all the high flying stupid crap. And if you actually learn how to wrestle, I think he could be a star. But I'm not, the whole Bojangles thing, I don't even know what that was referencing. Obviously, Mr. Bojangles was a white guy. So, again, I don't know where we got all this other stuff from. Okay. And where this controversy came into. So, again, we're going to have to listen to this because this is the first time I'm hearing it.
Of a lot of people's donuts, let me tell you that quote. So, and I will get back to it in a second, but Kevin actually had the same criticism for Men on a Mission back in the mid-90s, asking why they were kind of like a goofy kids act in purple silk rather than something more akin to, at the time, West Coast rap, NWA, Tupac, that kind of thing. Something with a harder edge to it once again. He may have had a point back then, actually, with Mabel, especially when he turned heel, aside from, they changed the music slightly, they added sirens, and then they had a crown made for him when he won King of the Ring that was made out of the same material as, I guess, Bret Hart's sunglasses. There wasn't really much change in the presentation beyond that, and a bit of frowning going on. But Javon Evans is 21 years old, right? He's fresh to the roster. He looks like he's pretty much being his authentic self, and he looks happy. I don't particularly need a different presentation for Javon Evans at this point, especially when he's still a rookie and it's working. So I kind of think that's a misguided suggestion in the first place, but there you go. But especially from what I'm gathering from Nash's suggestion that he be more urban, there isn't enough of, isn't there enough of that already in wrestling? And I think it's kind of nice that Javon Evans isn't portraying a stereotype or even a negative stereotype on television. What we probably don't want here is another version of Crime Time, which wouldn't work at all today, and quite frankly shouldn't have worked 20 years ago, and it kind of didn't. I'm surprised that got on television 20 years ago. But anyway, Kevin Nash apologized for his choice of words, which I think we can agree were fairly poor choices of words at this point. But once again, before we get to that, I also want to make mention of Kevin Nash's other point, which he was saying that Javon's punches are really good. He just needs to slow them down and make them more impactful. I would disagree with that, saying that I don't think Javon Evans' punches are that good, and that is something that he needs to work on. But a lot of what he does is absolutely amazing. And on Monday, he did a move that put Seth Rollins' finisher totally to shame. But other than that, it wasn't treated like a finisher at all. I just want to show you this 1 second, that I thought it was totally worth showing. This is something like Javon Evans needs to work on, is as far as a criticism that I would consider more valid. And it's, look at this.
Wow, what the?
It is a curb, that puts the curb stomp to absolute shame. Absolutely amazing move. But here's what gets me is straight afterwards. It isn't treated like a finisher because
incredible.
He just picks him up and then just does the next move, which once again I find kind of like it's unbelievable move, and then you just kind of just move on to the next thing. That should be a finisher, if not at least some sort of signature move that he does actually beat people with, because it's great. Now, that kick now needs to be put away in the locker for months so people forget about it, and then brought out again and then treated with more reverence, more seriousness, and like get pins with it. Because once again, that puts the curb stomp to shame. And, you know, hopefully that'll all come with, you know, time and maturity for Javon Evans, not throw everything at the wall, get all your stuff in, as the phrase goes, or the version of the phrase goes, the clean version anyway. But once again, it wasn't the punches that people had issue with what Kevin Nash was saying. It was the phrasing that he said. Let's go back to the urban suggestion, or the urban wording, the phrasing, the quotes. People were on, you know, climbing on board the outrage train on that one with, you know, Bojangles and urban pretty much in the same sentence, and started demanding an apology from Big Sexy himself on social media that Kevin actually gave. He actually gave an apology. Although I've got to say, it's one of the weirdest paragraphs you'll probably ever read in the guise of an apology. So I'm going to read it to you. How often have you heard the term Uncle Tom? Most likely, it was used in a degrading way. If you've actually read the literature, Uncle Tom was whipped to death for helping free 2 female slaves. I apologize for the use of the term Mr. Bojangles. It was in poor taste and obviously offensive. I just see talent being pushed in a direction that I disagree with. He should be the male version of Sol Ruka. That I think he's misspelled. Isn't it S-O-L? Anyway, more contemporary than urban. Funny how I'm usually the only person who pays attention to the development of black talent. Okay, so let's go this line by line. Bringing up Uncle Tom's Cabin is kind of weird there. Maybe with his version of that, he does know that Mr. Bojangles is white. I don't know. I'm kind of guessing that he still doesn't understand the distinction, because practically no one does between Bojangles and Mr. Bojangles. But once again, splitting hairs here on that point. But it's kind of weird that just immediately you're bringing up Uncle Tom's Cabin. But Nash then apologizes for the Bojangles reference. But then Nash says he disagrees with Javon Evans' presentation, and that he should be more like Sol Ruka, who is kind of more like a Matt Riddle surfer type, but with less weed and probably less of a burning hatred for Brock Lesnar as well, I guess. But I'm not quite sure how.
I honestly think that was you need to be more like a model or a gym. She was a gymnast. Sol Ruka was a gymnast. Okay, again, I can't disagree with Kevin Nash more. I can't disagree with him more. I think that these guys should be wrestlers, not gymnasts. And I don't like Javon Evans because he doesn't wrestle. He's a gymnast. You want to be more of a gymnast? My goodness gracious. And maybe it was maybe he was talking about the look. I thought he was talking about the fact that Sol Ruka is literally a gymnast, or was. That does not make her a wrestler. All right, more of this.
Sol Ruka to Javon Evans is kind of the same thing. That's just me. Maybe other people see. I don't put it this way. I don't even know why you changed Javon Evans' character at all. It's working once again. He doesn't need to be like Sol Ruka or Crime Time or anywhere in between, quite frankly, in my opinion. And then Nash says once again this. Funny how I'm usually the only person who pays attention to the development of black talent. What the fuck is he talking about? Like, I didn't realize Nash had invited himself to the cookout and was the only guy looking out for black talent here. And also, it's kind of a weird way of throwing shade at Triple H, because if Kevin Nash is the only person looking out for black talent, that must mean Triple H isn't. Who is, of course, the current WWE Chief Creative Officer. And, like, for the last couple of years, people, I'm guessing mostly AEW sickos, have been piling onto Triple H saying, hey, you're not featuring enough black talents, especially on the WWE PLEs as of late. But it just seems a really weird comment to make, to put yourself on that pedestal that you're the only person trying to help black talent, which is bizarre. Anyway, a day or so after posting this kind of like sorry not sorry post or whatever it was, I mean, there is an actual apology in there, but like a weird defense of himself as well, dragging up weird references and also saying that he's the only person looking out for black talent. More people flooded the comments with negativity, calling him a racist and most likely every other name under the sun, until Big Kev just deleted it. Now, could Kevin have worded his initial comments more sensitively? Absolutely, I'm sure he could have done. Of course he could have done. But it's also not quite like he was saying that Javon Evans needs to be Al Jolson out there either. This does need some perspective here, people.
Wow.
Now, Nash said, quote, once again, he wishes Javon was a little bit more urban. Once again, a poorly worded way of saying he wishes he had more of an edge or more contemporary. Quite frankly, they're two completely different things.
A better gimmick. He should have said a better gimmick.
Different descriptions of what he could look at the adjective. But that's what sometimes, look, that's what happens when you're recording podcasts. You say the first thing that comes to your mind.
Right.
It's really tough sometimes to get your words out when you're under the pressure, like I am now with a camera in front of you, and you don't really have time to take it back, or you don't even notice, and then it's out there and people take it the wrong way, or you say things the wrong way and people kind of take it the right way, but you know what I mean.
Yes, and we're going to stop sharing there because I can't agree more. Like, I could say hi on this show and there's 20 different people who are going to go, well, why did she say it like that? You know, or there's like 50 people out of however many people watch this show, and they'd be like, well, why did she say it like that? What does she mean? Hi. You know, again, people interpret things differently, and we all interpret things differently. So I don't think Kevin Nash is a racist because, again, you know, I think he was trying to express himself in a different way and kind of say, hey, you know, I love, you know, I don't want to say the African American community, but I mean, again, we're not racist. We have friends who are, you know, African American, and, you know, we care about those people. Let's just say that, you know. I mean, heck, I used to work with a black gentleman, a African American gentleman, and he was cool as anything, right? We would say, well, he actually told me that, you know, Hulk Hogan died, and I went, get out of here. Come on, you're messing with me. And no, it was true. That's when Hulk Hogan had passed away. So, and again, Dee is Puerto Rican. So, guys, we all have our, and there's people out there that even if I talk about African Americans are literally going to say, well, she's a racist. Even if I just mentioned that I really do care about the African American community, and I want them to succeed. I want everyone to succeed. Them a little bit more. No, no, I mean, and you know, the Latinas and Latinos, or what they call Latinx. I hope Angel is my friend. He's Latino. David from Deconstructing Topics is Latino. I love them both very much. I care about them very much. Okay. Again, my coworker, I try to talk to him as much as possible because, I mean, he was just so darn cool that, you know, I still kind of keep in touch with him. And there are others. Okay. I can't say enough. Again, and someone's going to interpret that, oh, you're a racist because you mentioned African Americans and Latinos. No, I want everyone to succeed. I want you guys to succeed. And again, Curt didn't have a problem with anybody. He would wrestle anybody. If I was a wrestler, I would wrestle anybody. I wouldn't care. Curt wrestled Midnight on WCW. I know that's not very known. In 1999, Curt wrestled an African-American woman and put her over. So stop with the fake outrage. Enough is enough. Okay, so I'm going to take a 5-minute break, and then I will come back with our main event, which is a 20-man battle royal with Curt and Larry Hennig. And again, this is where they turn Jerry Blackwell babyface. Well, anyway, we're going to watch it, okay? So 5 minutes, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Okay, so we are back, guys, and I looked through it, and I didn't really see or hear any music. Hopefully, I can catch the music so I don't have to edit that much. But everyone on Rumble should see, this is Greg Gagne. This is Greg Gagne here, and this is Nick Bockwinkel. And then, of course, Curt will actually be in the battle royal. He will be eliminated, and then he will come back and help Jerry Blackwell, who they are going to turn babyface against Bruiser Brody. Although he is known as King Kong, King. Is it King Brody? I think it's just King Kong Bruiser or something like that. Anyway, he gets they turn him heel, and King Kong Bundy? No, that was somebody else. Anyway, let's go ahead, and it is our main event. So here we go, 20-man battle royal, July 15th. If anyone wants to look this up, you can on YouTube and watch it. 20-man battle royal. And in parentheses 07/15/1984 and the parentheses. So you should be able to find this on YouTube. This is on YouTube. So, okay, here we go. I'm going to press play now.
Irwin on one of the fabulous ones. They are both still in there.
I think, trying to find where Curt is.
Looks like somebody is going to go. One of the fabulous ones, Steve Kern, looks to be in deep.
Steve Kern is in there. Yep.
But he got some help from Curt.
The fabulous ones are in this.
And Curt is ramming away, flipping away with rights and lefts.
Oh, I see him. He's right here. Curt is right here.
Sabisco, maybe
If you can see this, he's right here.
It's
And here's Jerry Blackwell on for everyone on Rumble.
Abdullah the Butcher.
Trying to see where Larry the Axe is. There's Larry the Axe right here.
Larry Hennig up on his shoulders, trying to get him out. Is he? No, he's not. Hennig comes back in. Now, Hennig.
There's Brody over here. Brody's over here in the corner. And then Brody that would be passing away in 1988 when he's in Puerto Rico.
That 480-some pounds. Jerry Blackwell comes behind. Larry the Axe Hennig and Abdul the Butcher is still in there. Dusty Rhodes firing away.
Dusty Rhodes is in this. I forgot that. There's Curt right here.
Again, Sabisco in deep trouble in the left hand.
Larry Sabisco is in it.
Hennig hammering away on Jerry Blackwell.
Here's Dusty right here. Dusty's right there.
Blackjack Lanza ripping a right hand to Abdul the Butcher. Wilbur Snyder has just been eliminated. We should be down to about 16 now. That's still too much humanity to keep track of at one time.
I think Nick Bockwinkel's in this too, but I can't find him.
The Crusher is still there, as you see in the blue.
Crusher, yep.
Larry the Axe Hennig. Uh-oh, somebody has just gone up and over.
Oh, go Larry Hennig!
Roger, the Nature Boy Kirby is gone. Larry the Axe Hennig popped him up and over the top rope. And
here's Curt, right next to Dad.
One of the fabulous ones looks to be in trouble with Nick Bockwinkel. That was Stan Lane.
Oh, Stan Lane is in this too. Yep.
Now tapping his partner Steve Regal.
Ooh.
As they are pretty much sticking together in there. An elbow smash by Dusty Rhodes on Jerry Blackwell. There's war in the corner.
And these two, there's Dusty.
Ripping right hands.
And Jerry Blackwell, who will eventually win this.
Ramming away on the Crusher. Steve
Whoa,
Kern
be careful, Curt. He's in the corner again. For you guys watching YouTube, he's over in the left-hand corner. I think this is Nick Bockwinkel here.
I don't know who they've got over in the corner. View is obstructed in that corner. Now Dusty Rhodes is being held from behind by King Kong Brody. The heavyweight champion Nick Bockwinkel up, and does he go out and over? One of the fabulous ones is working on him. Now the other fabulous one grabs Brody, and Dusty Rhodes rams an elbow to the head of King Kong Brody.
King Kong Brody was what he was called. Not Bruiser Brody yet.
Is over there. The Crusher is there. Blackjack Lanza is there. One of the
Whoa!
riding piggyback on somebody. Larry the X Hennig is trying to get Blackwell out.
Kurt's trying to help him. Push, push.
Larry Hennig. Blackwell is hanging on to Curt Hennig, and they cannot get him out. The battle royal goes on. They're fighting for $100,000.
I think this is Baron von Raschke over here.
Uh-oh. It looked like Larry the X Hennig was in trouble momentarily there with Jerry Blackwell.
There's Curt standing. Who should I hit next?
In the corner to your left. Working on
Oh no, there goes Larry by Jerry Blackwell.
over and goes to work on Abdul the Butcher from behind.
Got him. Okay, you limited my dad. I'm going to go.
Larry Hennig has been eliminated from this bout by Jerry Blackwell, but Hennig is giving Blackwell.
Oh, there goes one of the free birds. Or fabulous ones, not free birds.
Curt Hennig firing away on Abdul the Butcher.
Get him, Curt. Yeah, there's Abby over here. Curt is wrestling him right now.
Goes another one of the participants. Like my view again was obstructed. Scott Irwin.
Scott Irwin got eliminated. Yeah, Scott Irwin was in
The
this.
Bruiser is still in there. The Crusher.
I think he's one of the long riders.
Been eliminated.
Oh, there goes the Crusher, I think.
Marty Miller, the referee, is saying, hey, you're out of it. That is Dick the Bruiser.
Oh, it's Dick the Bruiser, sorry.
One of the fabulous ones, Steve Kern working on Jerry Blackwell.
Steve Kern.
Attention to someone else.
Stan Lane would be the other one.
Bruiser is out, as we told you. King Kong Brody being pinned over in the corner by Larry, the X-Hennig son, Curt.
Get him, Curt.
The Crusher. With Abdul the Butcher. Jerry Blackwell in the corner to your left. Dusty Rhodes, someone in the center of the ring. Another one has been eliminated. We're down to about 10 now. As they get a little bit more room to operate in the ring. Blackjack Lanza firing away with lefts and rights to Abdul the Butcher. And then the Blackjack is tagged. Dusty Rhodes.
Curt saved himself.
Nick Bockwinkel.
Kurt's over here.
Well, it's Bockwinkel and Rhodes now. Rhodes forces Bockwinkel to the ropes on the left
Over here
side.
somewhere.
Meanwhile, there's plenty of action off on the right. The Crusher is still there. King Kong Brody hammers both
That had to
hands
hurt.
to the head of the Crusher, who was held from behind by Abdul the Butcher. The Crusher in up.
Oh, there's Curt. Oh no!
There are two of them.
Oh no! Curt eliminated himself.
Dusty Rhodes was out.
He fell off of the apron.
They are saying that Dusty Rhodes has been eliminated, and now Nick Bockwinkel also goes up, over, and out. Those that are remaining, while Bockwinkel has climbed back in the ring. The Crusher is in there. Peru, Abdul the Butcher is there. King Kong Brody is there. The Fabulous Ones are there.
Curt tried to eliminate someone and he fell off the apron. Oh.
Abdul the Butcher eliminates. Well, the Crusher has gone up and over the top rope, but he lands on the apron. And the fight goes on between those two.
Oh no, Crusher's out now.
Abdul the Butcher has ripped the Crusher to the post and he has gone to the floor. Now, King Kong Brody working over both of the Fabulous Ones, or is it vice versa? Steve Kern on rubber legs, and Brody comes behind him and hammers away with a forearm. The Fabulous Ones, they're still in there. Jerry Blackwell is still in there. And now, Steve Kern firing away on King Kong Brody, working on the eyes, and suddenly Stan Lane gets out of the way as Jerry Blackwell comes across the ring. Lane was being held by Abdul the Butcher. You have the Fabulous Ones. Jerry
He's
Blackwell,
biting him over here.
Brody and Abdul the Butcher. And now Abdul the Butcher going to work on Jerry Blackwell. A hard shoulder block by Steve Lane, and he goes up and over the
Stan Lane, not Steve Lane.
Direction Steve Kern is out of it. Lane
Okay,
is on the
Steve
near
Kern.
side. He may be gone too.
Oh no.
And Abdul the Butcher is up.
Bye-bye.
It started with 20 men in the ring at one time. The numbers are diminishing. Who's going to win the Battle Royal? We'll be back right now. Who will win? Let's go to the ring and find out.
Still in the match. The Fabulous Ones have been eliminated, and the only two left. The
Oh.
only two left are King Kong.
Oh, bye-bye. And this is Adnan Casey. Everyone know him from General Adnan when he was in WWF with Slaughter. And this is where they turn Jerry Blackwell babyface. And all the babyfaces come running out. So, and Kurt's one of them. So, Kurt will be in the ring. Dusty will be in the ring. A lot of people will fill up that ring trying to get Bruiser Brody away from Jerry Blackwell. And so I'm guessing they turn Jerry Blackwell babyface.
And King Kong Brody is hammering away as Abdul the Butcher holds Jerry Blackwell, who is a bloody, beaten mess. Adnan L. Casey is there. Other wrestlers are coming to the ring now, supposedly to the aid of Jerry Blackwell.
Hey, there comes Kurt! Kurt!
Dusty Rhodes has come in. Oh, what a royal battle this is getting to be.
Here comes the Fabulous Ones again. They were baby faces.
King Kong Brody, also Adnan L. Casey, and Abdul the Butcher. They are in a fight for their lives inside that squared circle. Jerry Blackwell has won this match and has won the $100,000, but they are fighting nonetheless inside the ring. And Casey is chased.
Here's Kurt over here. And the two Fabulous Ones, Stan Lane and Steve Kern. Dusty's here.
But look out! Here comes King Kong Brody into the ring with a chair. One of the Fabulous Ones, Stan Lane.
They're still trying to get him out of the ring.
It's going to take 3 or 4 to stop this man. He has gone absolutely berserk.
And there's Kurt, of course.
He is a crazy man in there.
Dusty.
They are trying to extricate the chair from him. Curt Hennig is there. The Fabulous Ones are there. Dusty Rhodes is there.
Oh, he still stopped him.
Kong Brody comes over
And Kurt's like, what the heck?
Was it the referee or was it Jerry Blackwell who was still laying flat on his back in that ring? We cannot see from here. The Battle Royal is over, but the Battle Royal goes on. And back in comes Abdul the Butcher. King Kong Brody working over somebody on the floor of that ring. Now Brody comes out of the ring, but is he going to be
Abdul the Butcher's back in, and they're still going after Jerry Blackwell here. Here's Kurt. Dusty here. The two Fabulous Ones, Steve Kern and Stan Lane.
Jerry Blackwell flat on his back. Blackwell being worked over for a long, long time after he had won the $100,000.
And they still can't get him out. He still tries to come back. Brody does.
Abdul the Butcher and Sheik Adnan L. Casey took it upon themselves to go after Jerry Blackwell. And Blackwell is indeed in a very, very bad way and could very easily be seriously injured. The referee, Marty Miller, Jim Mitchell, Bob Grazinger, promoter Wally Carbo, along with the other wrestlers, Dusty Rhodes, the Fabulous Ones, Curt Hennig, all in the ring at the present time, checking on Jerry Blackwell.
And the crowd seems like they're stunned. Like they didn't expect this to happen. They're like, oh, what? We're supposed to be cheering for Jerry Blackwell. He was a heel. And look, the two Fabulous Ones are like, come on, Brody, let's go. Get back in here. See what happens to you. There's Kurt over here by Dusty.
If Brody decides to make another entrance. Sheik Adnan L. Casey has just walked in front of us over to his locker room. King Kong Brody is still around there. And while he's there, trouble is also at the very same spot. The wrestlers remain in the ring. As we have mentioned, the stretcher and the paramedics have been called for. Here comes Brody again.
Yep, he's trying it again.
Brody just will not quit. And all of the other wrestlers.
Get him, guys.
The fabulous ones and Curt Hennig and
Get him, Kurt.
And can he handle all four of them? Brody stomping on Jerry Blackwell, who is flat on his back in the ring floor. The other four wrestlers in that ring cannot stop the 370-pounder from Santa Fe.
And here comes Abby again.
King Kong Brody absolutely refuses to leave ringside.
I think this is Vern Gagne here.
He's there in the ring, prone, flat on his back. No doubt seriously injured. Dusty Rhodes has also been knocked to the canvas and no doubt knocked unconscious by the man King Kong Brody. Something is going to have to be done about this man.
Kurt's definitely going after. Are you okay, Dusty?
We do know he can speak English because he talked to us one time at ringside. But most of what you hear from him is like a bark from a dog or a grunt from a hog, as we said before. Again, the call goes out for stretchers and paramedics to ringside. Dusty Rhodes is now back up on his feet. Curt Hennig is there. The fabulous ones are also there. King Kong Brody and Abdul the Butcher are coming by. So
There's
apparently
Kurt over here.
this has come to an end. They have gone to their respective locker rooms. You see Jerry Blackwell trying to get to his feet.
Dusty, come on, get up. Get up.
Dusty Rhodes calling on the crowd to come to the response and aid of Jerry Blackwell, who has won the $100,000 and who has won this battle royal. Dusty Rhodes encouraging the crowd to encourage Jerry Blackwell, who is now talking with Wally Carbo. You can hear his screams somewhat, saying, I want something. No doubt he wants. You know who he wants. King Kong Brody. Jerry Blackwell, a beaten young man, but also very much a winner here tonight.
Oh,
The winner of the Battle Royal. The winner of $100,000. And the winner maybe of an arena full of fans. Look out. King Kong Brody is on his way back to the ring. King Kong Brody has just left the locker room and is on his way back to the ring.
Hugs Dusty.
Dusty Rhodes is in the ring. I don't know what other wrestlers are there. Well, we see at least one of the fabulous ones. Both of them are
Here's
there.
Kurt.
Hennig. They do not know that King Kong Brody is on his way to ringside, but they will find out very, very shortly. Oh, my. This is unbelievable. Brody has grabbed a chair and is hammering away at Jerry Blackwell. I've never seen anything like this before in my life, and I hope
Chris like, come in the ring, I dare you.
This is absolutely, totally uncalled for. If King Kong Brody wrestles here again, ever, or maybe anywhere in the AWA, it would be a great, great surprise.
All right, so we are going to stop there. That is the end of our show, guys. I know it always goes so fast, but that is the end of our show, and we will be back next week for another episode of Nobody Beats Curt Hennig. Nobody. I am your host, Mrs. Witchy Perfect, saying nobody beats Mr. Perfect. Nobody. Bye, guys.
Hey, Curt Hennig fans, hello and welcome to the Shameless Plugs. I wanted to do an updated version because I no longer have Patreon. I don't know if anyone has seen and down in the description field. The first shameless plug I would like to do is for my Cash App and my PayPal account. If you can donate, please, please, please donate today. I actually had one donation, but that was more for my birthday. So anyway, if you can donate, please see the links in the description field for my PayPal and my Cash App. I'd like to start off by saying also, and I will say this at the end, I have an AI outro that is AI generated. I actually made a country song dedicated to Curt. I made several. Just in case there also may be in the future or right now is going to be an AI intro. So I just want to let you know that the intro also could be AI, and this is for Amazon. Excuse me. This is for YouTube only. YouTube only. So the first shameless plug I would like to do is Kit Cabello. He is one of my great, great friends. Excuse me. I love him to death. And what a great man, great guy, all around great friend as well. You can catch him on Heartlands Media. That's 9 a.m. Central, Monday through Friday, and he will tell it like it is. Trust me, he will tell it like it is. Can't say enough great things about Kit Cabello. Also, check out Angel Riviera. He is in Angel in the Afternoon, and of course, he is my host for Pro Wrestling Talk. Pro Wrestling Talk is every Saturday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, though those are scheduled to change due to family issues or WrestleMania or a pay-per-view. Also, I would like you to, but definitely check out Angel in the Afternoon. It is 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and he also tells it like it is. Way to go, Angel. Okay, on to deconstructing topics. My big brother, Dave. I can't say enough great things about Dave. He is a big supporter of mine, and I'm a big supporter of him. If you check out Deconstructing Topics, he has his own show. I'm not sure what episode he's on right now, but he has a great podcast. Please, please, please listen to it. You can check it out on YouTube. I don't know if he's on Rumble, but I'll see if I can get a Rumble link. All these links are in the description field if you want to check these people out. Also, I'd like to mention my little kid brother, Alex Knight. We are actually not really related, but I see him like a little brother. So anyway, Alex Knight, you can find him on Angel in the Afternoon. You can also catch him on Pro Wrestling Talk. And I think he's going to do a baseball podcast with Angel as well. So check that out. That'll be on Sundays. I'm not sure the time. I'll have to get that from Angel later. But I just want to make sure that you check him out because he is a great person and someone I can call friend and little brother. The next shameless plug I'd like to do really fast is Black Magic Talk is my other show, guys. If you would like to check that out, all you have to do is click the link in the description field, and blessed be to you if you are also a witch, wizard, or warlock, or whatever you call yourself. You can check that out in the description field. We have a lot of fun over there. I love to have on special guests, especially Sonia Smith. She's a very dear friend of mine. I hope you will subscribe to all these people on YouTube or on Rumble. We are also on Rumble. The Rumble description field, the link is in the description field. Sorry. If you would like to check that out, this will be going on YouTube, of course, because I don't need this for Rumble. I could put it on Rumble. I think I might. So if you are on Rumble watching this and you would like to see the YouTube version of this, it's mostly audio that you will see, except for this part, right? Just check us out on YouTube. The link is in the description field. And again, if you want to check out Black Magic Talk, you can check that out too, where we talk everything pagan and Wiccan. There is no evil or black magic, of course. It's all great fun, and we have a good time. If you like a personal tarot reading from me, click the link in the description field below. I can get you my, my pricing and stuff. If you would like to be a guest on the Black Magic Talk, or if you'd like to be on Pro Wrestling Talk, you can DM me on X. My X is in the description field for both Black Magic Talk and for Curt Hennig podcast. Go ahead and hit those in the description field and DM me, and feel free to ask if you'd like to be a guest. If there's anything else, concerns, or if you would like to just give feedback, you can always DM us on X and so on. Just want to mention my Cash App and my PayPal account are in the description field. If you can give to the show, great. If not, please enjoy the show. That's what we are mainly here for, just for your entertainment purposes only. And again, I will reiterate that the AI outro song is AI generated. That is for everyone, for Rumble and for YouTube. Also, there could be an AI intro song. Just want to let you know that if there's ever an intro song, it is AI generated on YouTube. I created a couple of songs here and there, a couple of country songs I think that Curt would like. So I hope you check those out. And remember, everyone, nobody beats Mr. Perfect or Curt Hennig. Nobody.
I remember those nights in the TV glow, watching you a hero in the ring. With every match, you'd steal the show, making us believe in impossible things. Golden locks and a confident stride, wrestling through battles both big and small. With a perfect plex, you turned the tide. Mr. Perfect, you had it all. Oh, Mr. Perfect, where'd you go? In our hearts, you still steal the show. In a world that's moved too fast, your legacy's meant to last. Behind the glitz and all the fame was a man with strength and grace. Though we never knew your name, you left a mark time can erase. I can still hear that entrance theme echoing through arenas and TV screens. A legend in his prime and dream, you remain in all our scenes. All on the nights when stars glow bright, I think of you and your fearless fight. Gone too soon, but still inside. Mr. Perfect, you are a guiding light. Oh, Mr. Perfect, where'd you go? In our hearts, you still steal the show. In a world that's moved too fast, your legacy's meant to last. Oh, Mr. Perfect, where'd you go? In our hearts, you still steal the show. In a world that's moved too fast, your legacy's meant to last. Behind the glitz and all the fame was a man with strength and grace. Though we never knew your name, you left a mark time can